Let's begin by challenging a widespread misconception. Attraction isn't about dominance, flashy gestures, or clever lines. The men who consistently draw admiration and desire are not the ones who try to win people over with tricks. They are the men who hold themselves with calm authority, emotional consistency, and clarity of purpose. This is the difference between temporary attention and lasting influence. If you want to understand how real attraction works, stay with me through this discussion. And if you're serious about developing your personal authority, make sure to subscribe to this channel because we explore psychology, influence, and mastery in ways that go beyond surface-level advice. You cannot make someone fall for you by trying to control them. You can only cultivate a presence that naturally draws them in. Influence begins with self-mastery. Women, like everyone, respond to men who are composed, decisive, and emotionally grounded. This is what psychologists call internal dominance, a state where your emotions, attention, and actions are under your own control rather than dictated by circumstances or the behavior of others. A man who can remain calm under stress, who can express his preferences without anxiety or over-explanation, communicates stability and security, which are inherently attractive qualities. In contrast, attempts to dominate externally by pressuring, manipulating, or performing signal insecurity, not authority. Confidence is not about proving yourself, it's about knowing yourself and acting accordingly. True confidence is rooted in competence and clarity. It shows when you speak with precision, maintain composure, and make decisions that reflect your priorities rather than external approval. In practice, this could look like calmly stating your intentions on a date without over-justifying or, keeping your own schedule and not bending to every demand. These behaviors demonstrate that you are a man who values himself and commands his own life. Women are drawn to this because they unconsciously associate emotional and practical competence with long-term reliability. This is why men who exude calm, quiet confidence often succeed where flashy displays fail. Setting and maintaining boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate respect and attraction. Boundaries communicate self-respect and clarity of mind. For example, if someone tries to test your patience or push your limits in a conversation, your measured response, neither reactive nor passive, signals that you are not swayed by every impulse or opinion. In dating or work, men who maintain consistent limits create a sense of safety and predictability, which paradoxically increases attraction. People naturally gravitate toward those whose presence does not fluctuate based on every external pressure. Emotional control underpins both influence and desirability. When you can regulate your responses to frustration, uncertainty, or perceived rejection, you demonstrate internal strength. This is not emotional suppression, it is emotional awareness paired with deliberate choice. In practice, this might involve listening to a critical comment without defensiveness, responding with thought rather than instinct, or, just remaining composed when a conversation takes an unexpected turn. Women and people in general are drawn to those who can navigate emotions without being overwhelmed, because it signals reliability and maturity. Emotional composure over time really builds credibility and deep trust. Decisiveness communicates clarity of mind and purpose. Attraction is often a reflection of the psychological comfort we feel around someone who knows what he wants and acts accordingly. In real-world terms, this could mean making plans without hesitation, choosing a restaurant without overthinking, or calmly expressing your desires without ambivalence. Decisiveness is attractive not because it is flashy, but because it demonstrates a coherent internal structure, a mind that is aligned with action, not chaos. People naturally follow clarity, whether consciously or not. Consistency is more persuasive than charm. Influence is rarely the result of a single gesture or statement. It accumulates through repeated demonstrations of reliability, thoughtfulness, and self-control. When a man acts with consistency, whether in how he treats others, how he communicates, or how he manages his life, he creates a magnetic presence. A woman observing this pattern begins to associate him with security, competence, and authenticity. These traits inspire admiration, attraction, and eventually deeper emotional connection. The subtle art of presence is the ultimate draw. Presence means being fully engaged, aware, and grounded, without overcompensation or performance. It's the quiet confidence that allows conversation to flow naturally, that holds attention without demanding it. Presence is cultivated through self-discipline, reflection, and intentional behavior rather than superficial tactics. When you can exist fully in your own frame, unaffected by the small disturbances of the social environment, you radiate authority without trying. This is what makes a man compelling over time. Ultimately, the key takeaway is that lasting attraction is never about forcing feelings. It emerges as a natural consequence of your own mastery, composure, and consistency. Women respond not to scripts, tricks, or dominance, but to the presence of a man who is internally grounded and externally authentic. Cultivating these qualities takes deliberate effort, but it is the path to genuine influence, respect, and connection. If you found these insights valuable, subscribe to The Inner Citadel for more content on psychology, personal authority, and influence. Share this video with someone who is serious about self-mastery and long-term growth, because attraction, confidence, and influence all begin within, not in external performance. The journey toward becoming the kind of man who naturally inspires love and respect starts with mastering your own mind, emotions, and actions, and that mastery is something you carry with you in every interaction.